Happy New Year! New Year. Year. I probably played the most new games I've ever had last year, and I want to make a video about it. And you're gonna sit there and listen. First things first, games from previous years. Guilty Gear Strive is still my go-to fighting game, even if all I do in it is torture my friend with a funny grab man. I revisited Inscription, and it's still one of the most fun and innovative experiences I've ever had, and even got 100% with the solo roguelike mode. Note to anyone who enjoys this game, do not do this. Worst mistake of my life. Same with Everhood. Fun indie RPG with a fantastic gameplay style. Do not try to 100% it. It's so painful. I'm starting to realize there's never going to be another game quite like TF2. I started to play this game back in 2013, and it's still as fun and relevant as it was almost a decade ago, even if it doesn't get the attention it deserves. But that's all gonna change, man. Any second, we're gonna get a major update. The bots are gonna be deleted. We're gonna get... If I was forced to play only one game for the rest of my life, I would probably pick Slay the Spire. 250 hours later, and I still want to keep going at it. I'm also one of those sick freaks who plays Dota and still plays other games regularly. Someone should check my blood or something. Finally, I got around to trying Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance this year. It was an amazing experience that still had gameplay that stood the test of time, full of great performances and memorable moments, and even with the memes, I got it. Okay, speedrun for honorable mentions and games I didn't have time for this year. Gunfire had a smaller DLC, but the two characters they added were still a lot of fun. Same goes for Dead Cells. The new DLC introduced me to the game, and now I'm really excited about the Castlevania crossover. Microworks is a really fun multiplayer WarioWare style game that is starting to get traction. I feel like if one or two big streamers got a hold of this, it would become the next big thing, so check it out. Paragon makes a surprise return from the dead. Even though I have a MOBA to call home, I feel like Predecessor is unique enough to have a good niche filled in the market. If the team can give it good support and proper balance, it can be a really fun alternative for a MOBA head like me. Rumbleverse was a really fun twist on the Battle Royale formula. I only had enough time to play Slime Rancher 2 for like 30 minutes, but I could already tell it's a very big step forward from the first. Same thing with Tunic, which is a shame because I was digging the exploration and combat of this game. I've heard good things and I'll probably come back to it. My final and biggest honorable mention is Dead Estate. Not only is the base game a damn fun time, they announced a roadmap of 6 free updates. And the 2 updates Milk Bar Lads already released has some of my favorite items and characters. If they keep up the quality they have shown so far, this may be one of my favorite roguelikes by the end of it. Also spoilers, but God of War Ragnarok will not be on the list because trying to find the Fountain of Youth is easier than finding a PS5. Same as Sonic, I didn't have $60 for the Blue Bar. I'm sorry, the soundtrack is goated. Can we please get another Sonic Rush game?
Huh, that's one of the appliances I stole from Housewares. Oh jeez, it's got a gun!
I'm cheating hard for this placement, putting a demo, but one, it's a Valve-made demo, and 2, it's a Portal demo. I guess the ticket to make Valve do more games is simply release hardware. Despite being a demo, it was still packed to the brim with Valve's great writing, with fun new characters, great running gags. They got J.K. Simmons for a demo! J.K. Simmons! It's hilarious, it's great to get another look at the Portal universe, and if you think just because it's a demo it has no insane additions to the lore Portal,
Who wants chowder?
Played Up is the most stressful game I've played all year, and I love it. It starts as your standard diner dash game, but after a few days you have to add challenges and new recipes for each star you earn. On their own, it isn't that bad, but towards the end of the 15 days, they can destroy your restaurant. It's one of the few roguelikes that nails multiplayer, and it's simple enough to play with your friends and family. I recommend it, especially if you want to see in slow motion your downfall due to hubris. Oh, what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? I can't do any of this fast. The hubris. Wait, don't come back.
I can do anything. I'm the devil. Did you forget that? I'm the devil, like from Bible.
Man, this free game I got with this metal album is pretty good. Metal Hellsinger was definitely the biggest surprise of the year for me. A rhythm-based FPS with a gigantic collab of many famous metal artists for a soundtrack was a match made in heaven. Hell. It absolutely has one of the best soundtracks of any game this year, not only for the quality itself, but how it's integrated with the gameplay. Despite the placing in the list, this is one of my highest recommendations. I really want to see a DLC or a follow-up that builds on this amazing experience.
Okay, it's time for one of our favorite games on the show called What If It Was Purple?
Apparently this DLC was developed by Gearbox Studios. So if this is just showing what they can do, maybe Risk of Rain 2 is actually in kind of good hands. Other than Randy Pitchford. Survivors of the Void of course added 2 amazing new characters and new stages to explore, but also added a whole new genre of items, Void items. These can completely change the course of a run, and can save or break it. Risk of Rain 2 was already one of my favorite roguelikes, so adding this layer of depth is a really cool addition. It's probably the most fun and balanced Risk of Rain 2 has ever been. Except for the new final boss, so I always die at that part.
I'm ready.
No, you ain't.
There are just so many sounds and colors. Yes.
The rumors are true. This is Crack the video game. That was meant as mostly a joke, but no other game this year matches the high I felt once I had that first successful run. Like many others, I thought it was just color and XP nonsense. And it is, but don't let that fool you into thinking this is an easy game. You gotta use your noggin to decide what items and weapons to use and combine. And towards the end of the 30 minutes, you need to carefully maneuver through hell and back. Like seriously, it's $5, dude. It's one of the biggest steals in indie history, if you don't have it already.
What's wrong with you?
Go get it, bitch.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid.
It does a lot about the Stanley Parable that when I was wondering where the new content was, a door labeled new content appeared. I thought Ultra Deluxe was just going to be a re-release in a new engine with like 3 or 4 new endings for die-hard fans. Nothing more. It's definitely not a re-release, I'll tell you that. All these years later, it still manages to surprise me at every turn. It commentated on the nature of sequels and the silliness of reviews. The whole nostalgia can... wait a minute, then what am I doing here? One of the most scary and unnerving parts of any video game this year was a joke about a skip button. Like, come on, dude. Even if you already played the original, know every single route and secret. All the footage I've shown so far is not even a fourth of what's new here. Honestly, hearing Kevin Brighton deliver this line is worth the price.
Funny.
Fucking incredible.
I am the most charismatic leader. I got Tiny to eat a shit sandwich.
You know, once I was all done with Cult of the Lamb, as a huge roguelike fan, I was actually kind of let down in some aspects. The combat in the roguelike section, it's somewhat underdeveloped. I feel like most of the card upgrades are a bit boring, and the post-game is pretty much non-existent. And yet, when I was playing it for the first time, none of those complaints even registered to me. I was completely entranced by the world Cult of the Lamb built. The marriage of roguelike dungeon crawling and the Animal Cross style base building was an absolute joy. I cannot overstate how amazing this art style is. It straddles that line of being adorable and creepy. Fitting for a cute animal village that just so happens to have a cult in it. The soundtrack, man. Apparently this was River Boy's first time composing music for a video game, and he hit it out of the park. It can switch from the chillest vibes or chilling danger. Even with all the criticisms I laid out before, when I was getting more footage for this video, I got sucked back into this game even though I was pretty much done with it. The gameplay loop of switching between 2 genres was just too amazing for me to care about any of the little nitpicks I had before. Devolver Digital has been publishing some of my favorite games of all time. They really are leading the indie space. More people should follow their example. Like making batshit insane E3 videos, like what the hell, I love it.
But I don't you is a motherfucker, you know that?
We have waited 4 damn years for this DLC, and I still think it's impossible how much quality content they gave us in that time frame. 5 new bosses, Miss Chalice as a new character, new weapons, new charms, and some of the most beautifully animated bosses we have ever seen MDHR produce. Like seriously, the original Cuphead was already one of the best looking games I've ever played, but this DLC has bosses that exceed the already high bar MDHR set in 2017. What about the gameplay? Usually I don't 100% a game unless I find it really fun. And I did with Cuphead. Enough to do it twice. I have no idea what the future holds for MDHR, especially after working on Cuphead for almost a decade. But whatever their plans are, thank you, good luck on your future endeavors. And what kind of drugs were you on to make Chef Saltbigger this hard?
Behold, the 90s of an angel!
Yeah, Ultra Kill good. I finally got around to playing Ultra Kill once I knew Act 2 was coming in. And I was missing out. Yeah, just a couple of levels, but I don't know, man. Something just pulls me back to just replaying and trying to get a better time. New levels, new weapons, new enemies, new bosses. It's still Ultra Kill, but they just added so much great stuff to it. The soundtrack keeps you pumped for the next fast-paced brawl, and no two fights in the level are the same, so you have to manage your ammo, cooldowns, and stamina to survive. I'm really excited for whatever the Ultra Kill team and New Blood releases in the future. Games like this prove early access is a model that can work. And yeah, I am prepared for P2, guys. I am 100% ready. I'm gonna first try that shit and not get my ass kicked. Oh god.
This is the widest thing I've ever seen. This is so cool.
Man, when I saw the trailer for Neon White back in the June Direct, I said to myself, this game wears its anime inspirations on its sleeves, and it's absolutely not the game for me. Dating sim sections? I like my women like I like my coffee. Fucking real. Speed running? Do I look like a sweat lord that has too much time on their hands? Don't answer that. For freaks by freaks? I'm a silly little guy. I'm not a freak.
Many months later.
Yeah. I had time to only squeeze in one more game for this list. And holy shit, I'm glad I picked Neon White. Not only did it jump up this high on the list, but I put 16 hours into this and plan to put in way more once I'm done with this damn video. Start zooming by early levels with your high speed and your plethora of gun cards. But the game eases you into speedrunning by showing simple shortcuts to cut a few seconds. You'll start searching every corner of a level to cut time, save ammo, and skip entire sections. Check this example out. So this double boost jump is a regular shortcut, but after this, instead of going straight ahead, I go at an angle to skip an entire building. After the game trained me to find stuff like this, I not only beat my old time, I accidentally beat the developer time. That's right, you're not only fighting your and your friends' old times, but the developers who made and perfected the levels times. The light level sections were surprisingly pretty charming and rewarded me with fun side quests, characters paths, and funny filler episode content, and I mean that in the best way. Like, check this out. Neon Green, the rat bastard that screwed you and your friends over in life and now the afterlife. You can just have a barbecue with him. I love stories that can do this. Even if you're put off with the game's aesthetics or out of context clips of the dialogue, please give it a shot like I did. It's up this high for a reason.
Not bad for a dead guy, huh?
No, wait, mouse.
This game is a 3 out of 10. It's a 3.
I mean, yeah. What else would it be? My first Elden Ring memory was fighting this stupid piece of gum looking boss that kicked my ass over and over. The game gave me a choice. Adapt or die. Then I deleted the footage of me beating the gum monster like an idiot. The moment I knew Elden Ring was a game for my greatest gamer dreams was when I was teleported to the top of the map and said out loud, how fucking big is this game? It doesn't fill up its map with copy-paste missions and watchtowers. Every single corner had something that someone on the team handcrafted and put their heart into. And because of that time and effort, some of the optional fights were my favorites of the whole video game. Elden Ring puts a wall of a boss in front of you and demands that you put in the time, experience, and resolve to beat them, and you'll feel like $1,000,000 once you do. Elden Ring just set the bar for open world games from now on. So yeah, that's the list. Let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything, or even something about the video itself. This is my first time trying these more structured, scripted videos. I don't really know how to end this video other than saying I'm finally done. I can turn off from here. I can take this stupid blanket off to protect from the AC noises. I can fucking play video games again. Fucking fine.
It's the end to this lifeless paradise, your disguise. Be the dumb, bring your death, ring a catastrophic house, ring